2. Stand by.
Welcome back this morning. We got ourselves our cloud cover out there on our cool first day of July, but the sun's back soon enough, and with that comes some good grilling weather indeed. I think a lot of people have been doing that for these past few weeks now. It's occurred to us over these past few weeks that grilled foods and wines make a great match at times in here sharing with us. Some affordable, that's the key here, summer recipes and wine pairings. Sommelier Leslee Miller and Chef Mike Shannon. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us again. We talked sangria when you guys were here last month. We talked about maybe doing something with grilling and wines, and lo and behold, here we are. What are we putting together this morning?
Well, we are doing a whole number of different dishes across the board. Things that obviously live on the grill, and then wines paired to them. So we have kind of a collection of yummy things to start. Mike, why don't you talk about the avocado?
One of my favorite new summer vegetables to grill is a grilled avocado. It's so easy. A little bit of olive oil on there, a little salt, right on the grill marks. You eat it right out of the cup. You can fill it with anything you want.
Still creamy, but a little bit of that grilled smoky taste.
And it's a great fat for you, so it's really good.
Bacon, it's really good with bacon.
Bacon with BLT over the top would be awesome.
So 2 wines that you need in your pantry for the summertime, absolutely. You need a Riesling. That doesn't mean...
Do I really?
Yeah, you need a Riesling, and you have to remember that not all Rieslings are sweet. There's this huge misconception that Rieslings are sweet. So you need a Riesling for sure, because Riesling is a great pair to almost everything across the picnic table. And then I always like to do an unoaked Chardonnay. An unoaked Chardonnay would be a really nice pairing to the avocado. It'll kind of cut through some of the fat. It's nice and light.
Now back up a second. When you say an unoaked, when I think Chardonnay, I think every Chardonnay I usually have has an oaky flavor to it. What's left on a Chardonnay without the oak?
Well, you actually have more of a cleaner flavor. So you have something that's very lean, very crisp. It's still a Chardonnay grape, so you have kind of those nice round flavors, tropical fruit.
I might have to try that
But at
sometime.
the same time, I really love Oregon for that particular section. And then, of course, rosé is the absolute pairing to almost everything on the plate as well. I made kind of an idea here for another sangria sipper, but I have a French rosé and then also a California rosé, because different grape varietals will go with a number of different things across the picnic table as well.
And I guess that's what are some of the things we have to think about then when we're talking about pairing a wine with something off the grill?
So something off the grill obviously has some smoke to it.
Right.
So oftentimes when it comes into the meat dishes,
It's the char. It's the char that you pair to. And sometimes it might be a little bit of seasoning on there that picks up in the wine, but it is absolutely that char and that smoke. That Maillard reaction on the outside that we really like. It really pairs nicely with the wine.
right?
So I got one of my favorite new cuts of the summer when you gotta have a T-bone, but you can't have a T-bone. This is a lamb T-bone.
Oh,
it's really, really good, great meat. It's got good flavor, super on the grill, and gives you a little more to pair with than just the typical T-bone.
Yes, absolutely. So the smoke of the lamb, the grill, right? And then you have the lamb itself. And lamb can be sort of that heartier meat where you need something that's going to stand up next to it. So Tempranillo, of course, is one of the ultimate pairings to lamb. And then also, don't forget about all these really yummy, inexpensive wines coming out of Portugal these days. Quinto de Crasto is actually one of the premier wineries coming out of the Douro Valley. And then, of course, I did bring a Minnesota grape varietal for you this morning. Yeah, I did do that. So I brought the Crow River Marquette, which is delicious.
Is that what this is right here?
Yes. And if you notice, we're actually drinking out of plastique.
Great summer wine weather.
That is.
Yeah. The Barlex actually are really nice little glasses. Obviously, the Govino is on the market, but we like big Barlex because they're just a little bit more sophisticated, don't you?
It looks like
It
you're
looks,
drinking out of
I was gonna
glass
say, it
even
looks
when
like
you
glass.
can't.
That's the trick. All of my little plastic wineware is all
Well, there's some
multicolored
places
and-
these days that they're restricting glassware, right? Pools and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You can't have glassware, and this makes a perfect choice.
So the Marquette, a great pairing to kind of the smokier elements. And then, of course, you can't forget about dessert
No,
on the grill.
let's not.
Right?
But summertime is all about grilled fruit. Right now, stone fruit is so delicious and juicy, and I've got a little trio of plums and apricot and peaches, just grilled lightly till they got a little soft, a little balsamic drizzle, and that leaves you to pair.
Bubbles, the ultimate
gonna say,
pairing.
guys,
gotta be bubbles.
Right?
Yeah.
I love bubbles actually with grilled food. It kind of lifts off again some of that char, but then you can sort of snuggle up next to the fruit. So I paired a nice little French bubbly. This is an American producer, but actually they make this one in southern France. This is the Risqué, and so this is the grape Malzac, which is really nice and kind of yummy apricot-y sweet, but has some lift with some bubble.
Now, when you're off grilling and whatnot, say someone usually focuses on, we've done some vegetables and things. Say we go for something sweeter like a pork loin or and there's not a ton of smoke there, but the sweetness sometimes can get a little overpowering, and you're pairing that with some fruit or something like that. Where would you go on your wine spectrum when you lean on back onto that pork side with the sweetness in it?
Well, Pinot Noir is the ultimate grape.
Agreed.
Pinot Noir kind of goes with almost everything
Perfect
across the
for
board.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great, it's a thin-skinned grape, and so it would go with something like pork. You could actually move it into the avocado zone, and it wouldn't overpower anything too much.
So
Pinot
that
Noir.
might be a good base for someone to start that doesn't usually
Yes.
pair that wine and the grilling together. Start with a Pinot Noir, and then you
Yes.
can kind of build your wine pantry.
Sure.
Yeah,
Take over that.
you can pair it to salmon too, so it's perfect for almost everything.
That's really good. And you guys are teaching another class, aren't you? We did sangria a month ago or so. You guys are hosting a class at Cooks at Crocus Hill. Tell us about what people are going to learn.
So basically, we're taking these ideas and
Yeah.
we're turning them into a class at Crocus Hill.
Yes.
And July 19th from 6 to
Okay.
8:30, we'll be in the Edina location. Summer flavors, right?
Yes, I think that's still on the 19th.
Okay.
11th is Edina.
Got it.
Sorry. But if you're looking for some barware, plastic barware, or some grilling tips, come see us at Cooks. I know you got a big grilling weekend coming up, right? Everybody should be
Yes,
grilling.
we do.
Exactly.
We got plenty of
That's gonna
stuff,
be good.
rubs,
That's really good.
planks, and your plastic barware.
Right.
What am I drinking again? Hold on. It's Minnesota.
This is Minnesota, so this is the grape varietal Marquette, which was actually constructed at the U of M, and we love it. I think actually a great example here is the Crow River.
Okay, and we tend to forget that wine is something that is constructed. There's trial and there's error involved in it. I know that kind of takes the mystery out of some of it, the romance out of wine.
Right.
But there is a deliberate effort put in by all of these wineries to craft something. It's not like, I grew some grapes out back and I threw them in a barrel for a while and here's what came out. These people put a lot of thought and effort in this.
They do, absolutely. And remember that the Minnesota Passport, put on by the MGGA, the Grape Growers Association, is a great way for you to get out and actually check out all the backyard Minnesota wineries, because these guys are working really hard to
Good
put some
stuff.
beautiful products out. So.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. For more information about wine and the events and which day goes where, in particular, you can go to our website at myfox9.com. Guys, thanks so much for
Thanks so
joining
much.
us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, again, the Taste of Summer class is open with Leslie and Chef Mike. July 11th in Edina. There it is, from 6 to 8:30. And coming up next, Bruno Mars. Well, guess what? He's serenading an 11-year-old girl with a brain injury. Her heartwarming story is coming up next. The Fox 9 Buzz continues right after this break.